beautiful, and welcome back to Mother to Muse, the podcast where women remember who they are. I'm your host, Aviance, and this space was created for women who have spent so much of their lives being everything for everyone else. The caretaker, the problem solver, the responsible one. Sound familiar? But somewhere along the way, many of us forgot that our lives are meant to be experienced too. Here at Mother to Muse, we talk about returning to ourselves, designing a life that feels beautiful, and stepping fully into the women we are becoming. So, wherever you are right now, whether you're driving, making dinner, taking a walk, or enjoying a quiet moment with yourself, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Lately, I've been realizing something. I spent years believing my life would begin one day. One day when I made more money, one day when I had more time, one day when life finally slowed down, or one day when responsibilities weren't so heavy. I kept believing freedom was waiting for me somewhere in the future, like it was a destination moment. But a few weeks ago, I was sitting outside with coffee, no phone, no rushing, no emails, just me, the breeze, the sound of the birds, and a quiet morning. Nothing big happened, but I remember thinking, this feels like the life I've been waiting for. Not because everything had changed, but because for a few moments I was fully present inside my own life. And that's when it hit me. Maybe freedom isn't a destination. Maybe it's a decision. Maybe freedom isn't waiting on the other side of success. Maybe freedom is hidden inside the ordinary moments we've been rushing past. That one thought changed the way I've been living. Because if that's true, then I don't have to wait for permission to enjoy my life. I can begin today. Something I realized recently is that changing your life isn't always about changing your circumstances. Sometimes it's about changing your standards. Not the standards you have for other people, the standards you have for yourself. I've started asking myself different questions. Not, can I survive another week like this? But does this reflect the woman I'm becoming? That question has become my filter for everything. The kind of conversations I entertain, the opportunities I accept, the environments I stay in, the way I spend my time, the way I speak to myself, even the way I decorate my home, because I realized something. A beautiful life isn't in one big decision. It's built every time you choose something that's aligned with who you're becoming. Recently, I found myself saying no to things I would have said yes to months ago. Not because they were bad, they just weren't aligned anymore. And surprisingly, those no's felt just as freeing as any yes I've ever given, because every time I protected my peace, I was protecting my future. And I think we spend so much of our lives trying to change the circumstances that we rarely stop to ask if we've changed ourselves. Because here's the truth. You can move to a new city and still rush through every morning. You can make more money and still never feel like you have enough. You can finally get the promotion and still forget to enjoy your life, because freedom isn't found in changing your address. It's found in changing your awareness. The woman who makes ordinary life feel beautiful doesn't have a perfect life. She has a different perspective. She notices the beauty. She protects her energy. She doesn't apologize for her being herself. She believes rest is productive. She believes joy belongs at any moment. And she believes presence is a form of wealth. And maybe that's what I've been learning. The life I've been praying for isn't asking me to become someone else. It's asking me to become more intentional with who I am already. And can I tell you something? I used to think changing my life meant waiting for everything around me to change. Now I know changing my life started the moment I changed the standard for how I was willing to live it. And once your standards change, your choices change, your habits change, your relationships change, your calendar dates change, your mornings change. And eventually, your whole life changes. Not because one miracle moment, because 1,000 intentional decisions were made. So today I want to say it's possible. And I want you to imagine this. The woman who enjoys her freedom simply refuses to rush through the life she already has because she notices the beauty. She protects her peace. She celebrates on a random day of the week. She buys herself the flowers. She wears the perfumes. She uses her beautiful dishes. She plans experiences instead of waiting for them to happen. She believes presence is a form of wealth. She believes joy isn't something earned. And as we close today's conversation, I want to leave you with a few questions to sit with. What standards have you accepted that no longer reflect the woman you're becoming? Where in your life have you settled for good enough instead of creating something beautiful? And finally, if you truly believed your life deserved to feel beautiful now, what would you stop waiting for? Because beautiful lives aren't built all at once. They're built with intentional moments. So the Muse moment of the week is create one intentional moment that makes your ordinary day feel amazing. Maybe it's taking yourself to breakfast. Maybe it's watching the sunset. Maybe it's reading a chapter of that book you've been waiting to read. Maybe it's calling someone you love. Whatever it is, don't rush through your life this week. Just experience it. Because sometimes the most beautiful thing we can give ourselves is our full attention. So, before you go, remember this. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are simply becoming. And if today's conversation encouraged you, make sure you download the free Mother to Muse Companion Journal. Link is in the notes. Wrap yourself in softness, love on yourself, and remember to stand in your light. And until next time, that's Muse Energy.